Hi, Sailor Uranus, Amara here, and Sailor Neptune, Michelle here. And today we're going to talk about being on straight in Sailor Moon. Now, it has to do with wherever you're coming from, because there's always going to be more than one take or more than one belief. Now, there are followerships all over the world. Everyone belongs to some of them, even if they don't know it. There's the straight and unstraight followership. But we all know that folks who are straight don't have any flag, which all the unstraight folks do. Now, I'm not here to talk about if I believe in the flag or not, or I truly believe in what the followership stands for. In a way, yes, I do. I do have a lot of onlook for anyone. No need that they be straight or unstraight. Now, in Sailor Moon, being on straight, a lot of folks seem to take it either one way or the other way. Meaning they think that we were shamed it. They believe that, Cloverway and Pioneer were Pathseeker that got the rights to work with the third and fourth following. They felt that us being called Nearkin was not a good thing, under the belief that everyone knew that we were unstraight to begin with. I don't know if that's written on one's forehead, if they're straight or unstraight, but some folks seem to know that right away. Now, for the folks who may have had the interweb by that time and had a reckoner either at their house or at their book house or learn, may have already known about us being unstraight, but for a lot of other folks that may have came as a full shock to anyone. Now, were we handled the wrong way? No. I know why Cloverway called us Nearkin. Now, some folks might have their kin, they might be more near to others. Now, if you grew up and your near kin grew up around the same time and you hanged out a lot, then you're gonna have a near bond to them. And I think that's what Cloverway was going for. Some folks don't have a near bond to their near kin or even their kin, and some do. A lot of folks have a belief that Cloverway was only making fun of Deke for having to shift Zoisite to a woman, which, if we all understand, even the Germish offshoot, whoever handled that one, Zoisite became a woman in that one too. So, first off, Cloverway would have been in the same bind that Deke would have been in. So making fun of someone else for being in a bind, or would have been in a bind, is dumb. It's like, haha, we're gonna make fun of you because you had to shift Zoisite to a woman, and we're just gonna make fun of, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune by calling them Nearkin. That seems to be a held belief. Were we handled the wrong way? No. Did they say or do anything to us in the third following that would make someone believe we didn't get any on look? No. Not that I known of. I can't speak for all the other speech works out there, because Sailor Moon was shifted into many speeches, so I can't tell at the end of the day if any of those speeches, if they did or did not do something to it. Alright, you're right, Sarah Uranus. At the end of the day, it wasn't like we were everyone likes to have this belief that Sailor Moon was the first drawing show to have cells that were unstraight. Well, I can't tell you if there were any other ones before us or after us that did it, but I guess there may have been other drawing shows and drawing films too that probably had folks who were unstraight in it too, and no one really knew. You know, they like to behave as if Sailor Moon was like ahead of their time or something. Need be, I guess. I don't know. Now, a lot of folks like to think that we were, handled the wrong way, meaning they made us behave in a way that was to shame us or guilt us. And they come up with this belief that, oh, me and Sarah Uranus here were willing to do whatever it took, to get the luck stones. And we were doing and we were willing to do whatever it took, to keep, the earth around. And we had a belief in that, oh, it's about, wow, if someone has to die, that's the way it is, sadly. I don't think that really has anything to do with being unstraight or being straight. I think it had to do with our mindset and stand at the time. You see, I think that we didn't think that there was any other way to keep the earth well without yielding someone, either us or ourselves. I think it had nothing to do with being, you know, being unstraight. Now, a lot of folks out there are gonna say that we were, handled the wrong way. That, that it was a shame thing or a guilt thing. To my understanding, I don't know. There may have been some folks in the straight followership and the unstraight followership who may have felt that, oh, we were, guilted or shamed, and might think that being called Nearkin was, a way to either make fun of someone else who had to deal with had to deal with the unstraightened Sailor Moon before us. Now, some of you folks out there might think, oh, does that mean that fisheye? Now, a lot of folks like to have this belief that fisheye was a overdresser, but at the end of the overclover, I guess, overclothing. But at the end of the day, after watching the Cloverway and the Viz work, I gotta go on the belief that Fisheye was a woman in every offshoot of Sailor Moon. So no, I don't think so. You don't bring Fisheye into this because Fisheye was a woman in every offshoot of Sailor Moon there is. Alright, yeah, Sailor Neptune. At the end of the day, the mindset and the stand of anyone playing a self that was unstraight in a film or a show or a play was seen as, bad. And a lot of folks would, and a lot of folks would take it upon themselves to be, to be right fighters. And they would feel that they had a right to fight against that. Now the mindset and the stand of folks, unstraight selves being in shows, films, or plays now is not the same mindset that it was back in the day. So us being called Nearkin was the only way that Cloverway could come up with our near bond to each other, without making all the shifts that they would have to make. Deke was lucky. All they had to do is shift how Zoisite spoke, or her words. With us, it would have been harder, because what do you do with what do you do? And that was something, and I don't know what they would have done. A lot of folks out there seem to believe that, the Sailor Starlights would also be seen that way. But that's a whole saga for another day. So anyway, was us being called Nearkin by Cloverway a bad thing? No. Were we shamed or guilted anyway? No, not that I believe. You want to end this now? Oh yes, Sarah Uranus. If you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the other film we made yesterday over here with Sailor Jupiter or Sailor Storm World or Sailor Venus, Sailor Hell World. I am Sarah Uranus. For Sailor Uranus, I Sailor Neptune, and we'll see you later. Bye. Yeah, and you leave me to end this film. How wonderful.